HiSec Buyback offers 90% JITA anywhere in HiSec. Simply go to hisec.evebuyback.com, appraise your items, create a contract, and get paid quickly.
Welcome back to Talking in Stations. I'm Rain, your host, and I'm joined by Ben Rush. As you notice, Artemis is not here, so it's just me running everything and Ben being the most supportive person ever. So, Ben, do you want to give everyone an introduction of yourself?
So, hi everyone, my name is Ben Rush. I've been a EVE player, since 2017 mostly, and I've been running an alliance for the best of the last 3-4 years called Sorry in Advance. So we're a bunch of mostly Canadian people that really like to go with everything that is like the caricatural of the Canadians. So we're nice, we're polite, and since we're sorry in advance, if we ever destroy your ship, you cannot be mad at us because, well, we're sorry in advance. And we're also the ones behind everything that has to do with the EVE Montreal that we'll be talking about later on the show, which is an event held. This time is going to be on the north shore of Montreal, about an hour drive from there, in a sugar shack, which we'll be explaining also later on in the show. So that's an event that we've been doing it's going to be our third event. This year, we'll have a CCP developer with us. We'll have mercs, like always, and all that good stuff that you get when you're in a player-run event like that. CCP has always been super supportive of those. And yeah, so that's pretty much about it for EVE Montreal. Aside from that, we are now, sorry in advance, that is, Wormhole Alliance. And we're still learning a lot of the ropes there, but we're having a blast, doing wormhole stuff, shooting people, doing actually NPSI fleets, participating in them, not really doing in them, some little roaming and stuff. Yeah, life is great.
So you mentioned your alliance. You said it was, or your corp/alliance. It was Sorry in Advance.
Yep.
That just reminds me of the alliance. Do you have any affiliation with what could go wrong? What could possibly go wrong?
Yes, indeed, because back until it was the beginning of October, we were in RMC, so Red Menace Coalition, which was, Red Alliance, what could possibly go wrong, Sorry in Advance, and a few others. But we're the founding blocks of this coalition. We were.
Oh.
And one of the big, let's say, section, or that was, let's say, Sorry's, how can I put that, mandate, thing that we were good in, it was diplomacy. And, might not be specifically related to that, but not a long time after we left, diplomatic event happened, and coalition, is no more. So yeah.
No, that's interesting that not only do the names kind of sound like hilariously familiar, but the fact that you guys were actually flying together for a little bit, that's awesome.
Yeah, we were wrong and sorry and red together. So yeah, that was quite the memeable section of our story. But yeah, for a few episodes we did the RMC news that you can find still on YouTube. That was quite the show that we got right now with the Beaver show. That is really for everything that has to do with the news, a bit like TIS is doing right now, but on Tuesday instead, and with a lot more Canadian meme reference.
Yeah, do you want to go more into the show? I've seen you tweet about it. I feel like it always happens when I'm not able to watch. So I haven't caught an episode, but I do know you. I do know that you stream, and I follow you on Twitter. So you want to give the folks kind of an overview of what you guys do? Is it just news? Is it,
Yeah,
other
so
things?
we got different sections actually. So we got the different the news like you got here. So we go about over what happened, maybe it might be in game, out of game, I'm quite sure we're gonna talk about Photon UI and those things. So those are the things that we talk about, the patches. When there's a battle, that we got the information out that it's actually been good. We talk about those. We got like a section for like the kill of the week, and like what's special about that kill. We got like a section that is like our subvention section, where we got like our mascot doing silly stuff. Like the mascot is named Castor d'Amour, meaning like the beaver of love. And since last episode was on Valentine's Day, well, she went crazy. And different things that like happened. We actually put those episodes directly on YouTube, so I'll be able to share the link with you so that if people want to have a look at what it's actually about, they'll be able to.
Oh, somebody posted it. I'm assuming that's it in Twitch chat.
Oh yeah, well, yeah, I might have my people there.
Okay. Yes. Okay. So that's good. I can see it, but I am also a moderator, so hopefully everyone else can see.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's actually my co-host Dems now that just posted it. So yeah, you got that, and you got the channel here. So with that, you're all set to be able to watch those and yeah, have a good laugh because this Castor d'Amour segment is always something a little bit silly. Like the first one, like she explained to us how if you match the color of the skin of your ship with the color of your module, you're gonna be unlocking like let's say like potentials and bonuses that CCP do not want you to know about.
That is really cheesy, but also really funny. That is
And
something players would say, like my ship skin is red, so I go faster or whatever.
exactly. So that's kind of mindset that we got every week for this particular segment.
Alright, that's awesome. Okay,
Yeah.
so viewers said that my mic was a little low, so hopefully I fixed it. I have yours higher just so that they can hear you. Normally I change the audio where I'm louder, but hopefully that's fixed. So you do this show every Tuesday. What time on Tuesdays?
So it's 2015 Eastern Standard Time Zone, so Montreal time, which is about midnight and like for Eve time.
Okay, so like right at the switch between Tuesday to Wednesday for Eve folks if they want to tune in,
Yeah,
and then
exactly.
and then if we miss it, we have that YouTube link that we can go to.
Yep, exactly. So like we put it on YouTube like the not the next day, but the day after that, or close to.
All right.
Sometimes real life happened, but yeah. So and we do like this section like it's in English since like when we're at the 2015 mark. But if you log in on Twitch and you see us like before that, is like we do well mostly the same show but in French before that.
Oh, so it's both in English and in French.
Yep.
That's awesome. I like that. I feel like you're probably the first show, at least the one I've noticed on Twitch, that because we do have a lot of other streamers in other languages and they'll do Alliance tournament broadcasts, but never a show. So that's awesome.
Oh yeah, like Ash Charity also told me that we were quite special, but I take that I'm special. But yeah, we're having quite a lot of fun, and we're like started also like a podcast. But this section is in French, but we're looking to export it in English too, where we actually told the Eve stories from the official like Eve universe like section that you got like on the Eve Online website.
Yeah, no, I get what
So
you're
yeah.
saying.
So yeah, so we started like from the beginning, like origin of humanity, and like we're moving on. Last show was on the Jove, so nearly 1 hour of stuff on Joves, and now like I'm working on the Caldari one.
Nice. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's super cool. Okay. And so kind of to segue, I know you touched on this a bit earlier, but you mentioned Montreal a lot, and then there is a meetup this weekend. Do you want
Uh,
to, you are the
Not this
organ,
weekend. It's next month.
next month?
Yeah,
March?
March 25th.
Okay, okay. So we're
Mm.
we're jumping the gun a little, but players have to be able to prepare if they want to attend. So do you want to give them all? I don't want to say a recap, but like a longer explanation of what it is you do, why you
Okay.
do it, etc.
So Eve Montreal, like this year, well, like last year, we do it in Sugar Shack. What is a sugar shack for those of you that might be new to the idea? It's actually where we make maple syrup. So that's also the place where like we stock up our maple syrup for the year. So that's a place like really family friendly, and the event is also family friendly. So if you want to bring your plus one, your kids and everything, all the tickets that you get on the link is really it's made for that. So yeah, exactly on the adverb the right link. So depending of like the age categories, like you just go there and you select the one that actually fits your children, and you get like a price rebate. So that's really great. The price do include taxes and so like tips. So if so that people can actually understand better like the price, because we had like some issue in the previous year where we had tips issue because it was just after the pandemic and people well they were not as like accustomed to tip. So yeah, it was something that we do not want to go through again. So yeah, it's gonna be also like a unlimited bacon event, just like last year. Meaning that you can ask and eat as much bacon as you can possibly get without limits. Last year, we got like a table of people that did not believe in the unlimited bacon. So they started order like balls, of bacon, like BOWL of bacons. It took them like seven of those to actually give them the like to make them believers, because they were just keeping coming and coming and coming. So if you like bacon, that's the place that you want to be. Plus also there's all the Canadian cuisine that is there. Really really like it's really fun. It's like at noon, well, 11. So yeah, great place to go every year. Like it's our third one. People are having a blast. We're giving like a CCP merch and other merch that people from like different groups want to have like into the bag itself. So like people from, let's say, I don't know, like Imperium Pandemic Horde or whatever, like they just like contact us and say, oh yeah, see, like I got like this merc, could I add that to the bags and everything? So yeah, sure, like we're all open for that. Just contact either me or Damsnall to make that happen. We'll be happy to do so.
So you mentioned the Sugar Shack was where they make maple syrup, but it's also
Mhm.
like a sit-down full restaurant, right?
Yeah, it's all you can eat.
Oh, that's awesome. And do they have alcohol too? Like, can you have like beers with your friends and what?
Yeah, like yeah, there's alcohol. You also got like a maple flavor alcohol, like a little bit like let's say pricey because well and yeah, you got like everything that you need to have fun.
That's
And
amazing.
you got like the outdoors, like if you like animals, there's a little farm there. Also there's like tractor rides after it if you want to go on them. So yeah, like everything is there.
No, that sounds awesome. I was just expecting what most people do, where it's like a mom and pop sit down like at a bar. Like I think Eve London does that, where they just all go to a bar and they just spend 12 hours at a bar. So that's what I was expecting, but this sounds a lot of fun.
Yeah, like if you look, I don't know if you got the poster itself. If
Oh
you
yeah.
if you if we look at the poster itself, it's all picture from the previous event, and you see that there's actually quite a lot of people there. So it's like big rooms with like big long tables.
I have to resize it. This is gonna be a disaster.
Yeah,
Oh,
just like
oh.
big red.
Okay. Oh my gosh, it's huge. How do I fix this? This is a disaster. Nobody look.
No, 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 no. Well, you got the date there, 20 like the 25th of March, and yeah. So just try to find like a corner and resize it.
I'm trying. All I see is like this red bar across the top of my screen. Let me put us back up.
And after that, like you just have it in OBS to bring it like at the top, so that it's gonna be at the top of us.
Yes. Let me try to do. If I center it, it's gonna be disastrous. How do I reset like the size or the scaling? I don't know how to do that.
Oh, that's a good one. I actually don't remember that one.
I'm gonna do fit to screen. All right, the proportions are gonna be all off. Let's do this. Yeah, there we go.
Good. So now in OBS you just have to bring it like above us. Here you go.
I'll put it above me so that way it looks like you're talking about it. Hopefully people can read it. All right. Oh wait, yeah, okay. None of the text at the bottom is kind of small, but there you have it. 25th of March, 2023, at
Yeah,
11 o'clock.
exactly. So you see here like unlimited bacon. Then you got, well, both languages. So you got like and even Montreal. And if you look closely, like behind it, you see it's actually pictures from the event itself. So you see
Oh,
like it's bake tables. Yeah, after that, like if you look at right about here, at the other hand, like we got what's called, yeah, thank you. What's called the, I don't know, like in English, but it's like syrup on snow that you just
oh
stick your
yeah.
stick into it, you roll it. It's heaven on earth, literally. So that's kind of the, well, let's say like the second, third dessert because you actually got quite a lot of food. Like,
Yeah,
yeah,
that that's
that's the
awesome
place
though.
to eat, and yeah, we do eat a lot there.
As I say, there's a lot of people too. It looks like a lot of variety of faces and everything. How
Yeah.
many people do you actually get going to these events?
So like the last event, we were around 30, 35 for, so for this one we started at 40, and with the rhythm at which the ticket sells, we'll have to increase it at some point because, well, go like the word goes around and people are like really like it, and they also like being able to bring their families because, well, why not, you know, like that's the place actually for it. If your kids never saw like some animals, you got animals there, so yeah, that's great too. Well, it's in the forest too, so that's nice. Plenty of stuff there.
All right, that's awesome. So
Mm.
you said you've been running this for 3 years. How did you get started doing, I would say like Eve events, right? Because that's essentially what this is like an Eve
Yeah,
meetup and everything.
yeah, exactly. So I started with the Eve North, which was like the first event that I ever attend to, and Ivy and her people just like I was blessed away by like the event itself and like how good it was, and that's where I actually like connected with the Eve community, and I wanted to get more like into it. That's where I got the idea for the alliance itself. Then from that, like everything that has to do with like the player run events. So yeah, like Eve North was like where like everything just happened, and yeah, it was really good.
No,
We got,
that's
yeah.
good to hear. I was gonna say a lot of people are sad Eve North hasn't been happening the last 3 years, but it's good we at least have another Canadian event going on. And
Yeah, only a few hours drive, like, you know, like 5, 6 hours. It's not that far.
yeah, and then you mentioned so it's been going on for three. This is your third event. Has it been going
Yep.
on for 3 years? Did you guys start like right after a lot of like restrictions lifted for the pandemic and
No,
whatnot?
we did really like started like into the pandemic. We had like this weird time where like we were like there was like hope, and like restaurants started to actually accept people, and it was like, oh, okay, so if we do that way and we all like follow those rules, that can actually happen. Because like in in this season of the pandemic, like there was like real hope that it's gonna be like over like in the few weeks that were coming. So we started there. It was not like a lot of people talking about like maybe 20 big like max or something, maybe less than that, and that was the first event. And from that, like we actually really liked it. We moved on to the like the other one that was 2022, yeah, like at the Sugar Shack, and it was a blast. So this year we're doing it all like still at the Sugar Shack. Also, we got them here that is saying that yeah, we can increase the like the reservation up to 350 people if needs be.
It's gonna be a lot of people and their families there. If it's that much.
Yeah, and like CCP will be quite happy to actually try to give that much mark.
Yeah, shipping fees from Iceland. We all know. So,
Yeah, well, that's actually a good story because the first time that we did the Eve Montreal and that we like were told that we were having this merch, if you know a little bit, like you got, let's say, Iceland here,
mhm.
you got like Montreal here. So for a reason that I cannot explain, the parcel went through Vancouver at the other end of Canada to go to Montreal. So we did
That's
not at first receive the stuff in time. So we had to do a lot of stuff to get people their merc, but they did have it.
that's really silly on the shipping companies. I don't know why they do stuff like that.
I don't know. For the second event, everything was really fine. So yeah, we don't know what happened the first time, but everything has been fixed now. And yeah, like we we should like have everything in due time. Anyway, we got like a CCP developer this time that is coming. So
Oh, which developer are you getting?
CCP loose,
I don't know that one. Is that a new one?
I guess, because like I tried to look him up, didn't find him. I know this is him, so mm,
That's good though. Maybe it's like
yeah.
maybe they're like the Canadians are nice. We'll introduce this dev through the nicest community members we know, and then that way for when it comes to like FanFest and stuff, they'll be prepared.
Yeah, maybe, yeah, we'll see.
No, that's
Mm.
awesome that they're actually sending devs. I know. I think for the past couple years, it seems like Vegas and maybe some of the like Eve Londons have been the only player-run events that have gotten devs. So you guys are taking a really big step up there. That's really exciting.
Yeah, well, we were quite happy about it, and well, there was like Eve Nord that has quite a lot of devs, but
Yeah,
it was like during like the World Tour, and they were
yeah.
doing like the 3 days event and stuff. So we're not yet at that point to make 3 days event. Maybe in the coming years.
It's a
Like
lot of effort to do that, I
yep,
think.
yeah, and there's the financial stress that goes with it
Yeah.
because like you expect certain amount of people from all over, like all around the world, and you got like all regulation to go through and stuff. So yeah, it's let's say it's another league, not there yet.
Yeah. Yeah, since I feels like since the pandemic, like Eve events have like struggled. I think it was Amsterdam. I don't think is no longer running, but then I think Eve Vienna really took off. I think was the next big one.
Yeah, like there was like actually like we got like this super awesome like chat that we got together, like all the Eve run events.
Oh, yep, yep,
So actually, let's have a look. There was the we got Eve Down Under that happened.
yep. That's the one in Australia.
Yeah, we got Eve Northeast. That's gonna be happening with people from Scary Wormhole people.
Yeah, they always are in somewhere, not like New York. Maybe it is New York. There is somewhere where they're like out camping in the boonies. So it's like
Yeah, exactly.
rather than saying it after a city, they're just like, yeah, we're out here somewhere in the wilderness. Come find us.
Yeah, it's in May, I think their event. So yeah, actually, I think I'm gonna go to that one.
It should be close to you if you can make it across the border.
Only a few. Well, I hope I can make it across the border. Yeah. So yeah, those are the ones that we see. I'm trying to find because we used to have like a calendar with all the things. Okay, so London was in February. We got the Miami one that is at it was in February 25th. We got
Oh, that's
Eve
this weekend.
Montreal. Yeah, that's this one is this weekend. No, next weekend. Next weekend.
Yeah, next
So
weekend.
for the Miami one, March Eve Montreal. In April we got Eve Down Under, and in May we got Eve Northeast.
Is Eve Nola in there in April?
It's not written.
Oh, okay. That should talk to Delana. Do you have that calendar? I can send that to her. She runs Eve
To
Nola,
who?
and Eve Nola's been pretty big.
Okay, well, wait a minute. Like, no, I don't see her. No, I don't see it. Like, I don't see it. I don't see her like in the list. Like, fast. I don't see her.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, good time.
It's exciting stuff, though. I'm glad lots of Eve meets are coming back. Player run Eve meets as well.
Yeah, and we're gonna have like the big one in Iceland in September.
Yep.
which is a bit of a weird time.
It is for like a fan fest timing because normally they have it like in quote unquote spring, but it
Yeah.
will be nice having it still in like more of the quote unquote summer months. Like
Hmm.
September won't be too bad weather-wise, at least compared to like when they would have
Yeah.
it in March.
I'm just thinking about people that the students and stuff. Like
Yeah. I mean, Eve player base is kind of older, but yeah, that's true as well. There are some we still have a lot of college students and whatnot.
yeah, college are well all the universities ones, so it's all the same thing.
Yeah. Sorry, my cat is really needy because I dare talk to somebody else that's not her.
Oh, I'm sorry.
She's
That's
been,
gonna.
you can't hear her, but the chat probably can, where she just stands below me and screams at me for attention. So if you see me look away, that's what I'm doing.
That's all right. So I actually lost one of my windows.
Oh no.
So yeah.
So speaking of, we were talking about how Eve Montreal is kind of like a 1 day event, whereas like Eve North was a 3 day event. Do you see yourself expanding to doing 3 day events?
Yeah, I would really like to. I got like some crazy ideas has not been done with any other kind of Eve player run event or well even with like Eve itself, some crazy collaborations that I might use some context to actually make it happen. But for that, like I still need to, let's say, get more people that what we got. So this year is actually quite crucial to actually raise the number of people that can actually attend to. So I want to get to a certain point that I'll be quite confident that the if I do like a 3 day event after that, and that I'm inviting like the whole planet, that is going to be actually happening, and that I won't be investing like those crazy amount of money into an event that I might not see. And yeah, so that's another thing that people need to think about when you do like those kinds of 3 day event, that it's complicated, financially might be stressful.
Mm.
So yeah, you need to think about all that.
No, that's completely fair. I know I've been talking with Greydor a lot, so Greydor has taken over the Eve Vegas, and like just doing something as simple as like a room rate, like a block for a hotel. He was like, okay, he was like negotiating with the hotel, and then he just straight up asked everyone, he's like, how many of you are going to stay directly with this hotel? And there were like 10, maybe 20 of us. And he's like, okay, at that rate, I'm just going to work with each individual personally to get you guys a better rate instead of like writing up a contract and signing a contract with the hotel. Because usually there's some, like you said, you're financially responsible for stuff there, and that's not a fun situation to be in.
Nope, because it's actually quite a lot of money.
It is, yes. I remember, I think it was right before the pandemic when they started canceling everything. Folks had huge issues with their player run events, trying to like get people refunded and get stuff from the hotels and all this and that.
Yep. So that's a situation that I do not want to get in. So I want to if I ever go that way, I want to be sure that I'm solid.
Yeah. And usually, I would say hopefully CCP I would think would help you, but that's also, I don't know, I can't speak for CCP, but ideally if you're able to get some of them just like, hey, we're sending over devs too, so therefore, they have like a big corporation behind the name versus Ben Rush, the EVE Online player, that can kind of help I think as well.
Yeah, well, as of now, like they do send us like merch, like one dev this week this year. So things are actually like they're good, but I don't know like how much we could actually like hope from like a company to actually support in that way. I don't know like if they've done that with eVegas at some point, but yeah, that's something to keep in mind, that it's not necessarily that easy to do like those kind of 3 day events.
Yeah, I don't know a lot of the details, but I think CCP helped the guys who contracted with the hotel. I think they helped them get their money back from the hotel.
Oh, really?
So yeah, so I don't know how, and I don't know. It could just be like, hey, I don't know, like people can make stuff up. But that's
Yeah,
that's what
yeah,
I
yeah.
heard was that they were
Actually,
hopeful.
I'll ask my CCP contact is doing all this stuff with us to well see what are the option if we want to go into a 3 day event next year, let's say.
Yeah, I think that'd be really good, especially if you get folks, if If you want to invite people from outside the area, having a 3-day event is really
Yeah,
helpful for
because
enticing people.
let's say that we got quite a lot of stuff that can be done in Montreal in the area for all kinds of player.
Yeah.
It's pretty diverse.
Yeah, that'd be lots of fun.
Yep.
I'm trying to think. So I asked you about running events, your history of events. Have you been? I know you said you went to Eve North. Have you been to, like the latest Fan Fest? Do you plan to go to this year's Fan Fest?
I've been to the 2022 Fan Fest. First time in Iceland. Really, it was like a blast. I should have like booked another week. So much stuff to see there. Like every day in a spa, like that's life.
It's a very comfy country. It's really nice.
Yeah, I really liked it. So this year, like I still got some things real life to look into. I would really like to go. As of now, I cannot. I do not know if I'll go, but if I do, I'll take an extra week.
Yeah, that'll be awesome. I
Yeah.
know I'm doing like 3 events this year and it feels like I have like no time off for anything else besides Eve events and I love it though. It's a really nice like vacation from everything.
Oh yeah, you do disconnect like a lot from your whatever your other life is. Like, well, in my case, aside if you're like running like a sugar shack yourself, should be quite like disconnecting.
Yeah, exactly. So, I don't know if you have anything else you wanted to touch on. We have a really short stream. Artemis, so for those who don't know, Artemis is not here. She had internet issues, so Ben actually helped me kind of slap this all together. Usually when I'm by myself, I just stream Eve gameplay and it's really easy, but this was way harder than I thought it was going to be.
Well, do you have like a plan of things that you want to go over? I know that I've talked about Photon UI.
I mean, we can talk about some of the official news. I don't have anything to share about it. I'm one of those people where I don't really like it feels like all the Eve news is not player news, it's from devs. And so while I still enjoy the news, it feels less interesting to talk about because I feel like the game is all about the players and the player stories. So like I know we talked about this earlier. I like the Photon UI. I think you said you liked the Photon UI. So everyone
Yeah, yeah.
complaining, we're just like, who cares?
Yeah, well, this week, we got like a few, let's say, Reddit posts about some people that do not like it. But actually, some of those are actually I could understand because like there's people with, let's say, like eyes disabilities that have like needs that needs to be addressed to, and that's perfectly like something that needs to have like attentions. But the idea behind it, I don't know if you knew, but it's actually to get rid of some old code that could not make the game go further. So there's that too. So yeah, like there has been some people that had real actually issue with the Photon UI, and I think that those like have like I hope that they're getting some help from like CCP or like some communities to help them readjust.
Yeah, and I know in the past CCP has done a lot to help, especially with like visual stuff where like color blindness and things like that. They usually have done a lot to help. So I'm hoping CCP just doesn't gloss over it, that they actually make it a focus. Like accessibility
Yeah.
in games makes it so everyone can game and so more people in the universe.
Yeah, well, that's actually make me think about Gregor's raising that she's doing for like all the it's disability, all kind of
Oh,
disabilities
yeah,
to
able
help people
gamers.
get into the games. Yeah, able gamers. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like amazing work. Like really, like that's super like A1 really.
Yeah, and I know, so Steve Spawn, who's COO, Chief Operating Officer of Able Gamers, so he's disabled himself, but he talks
Okay.
about how, like, if you don't make accessibility like the focus of a lot of when you're developing a game, and it just becomes an afterthought, it makes it really difficult for those who not only have difficulty playing games to play, but even harder, like it's bigger hurdles. So, and I've seen a lot of what he does, and so yeah, having like I mean, when you have EVE Online players clearly care about their fellow disabled gamers, right? Like we have some like iconic ones like Gommelnox. I don't know if you've ever known him. He played the game with a straw, where he would like control his mouse with the straw, And
That's
so
so cool.
it is. But it's like when you have people like that and then Grey Gal fundraising, it's like clearly this is a focus for our community, so you need to pay attention to it because if you don't, people are going to be mad about it.
Wow. No, that's mind blowing. Wow. Yeah, people are awesome. Like we really got like the best gaming communities of of all. Like really.
Yeah.
That's really, and when I hear like those kind of stories, I'm like, wow.
Yeah. Oh, Hazel has a correction. So he said the mouse was the infrared on his head and then the straw was for clicking. Okay.
Okay,
See the
okay.
fact that somebody in Twitch chat knew, right? Like
See,
Gamo.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so I
Must
think CCP needs to really focus. Hopefully the Photon UI issues get resolved. I have heard if you have issues with the Photon UI, you can submit feedback. I don't know if it was like a bug report or posting on the forums. If you say like, "Hey, XYZ doesn't work" or "it's bugging out," and they actually are rapidly like trying to get through those as fast as possible to say like, "No, players are right. This is in production. We need to fix this ASAP."
yeah, but yeah, like I think that's really good. And speaking of like thing for everything that's to do with like able gamers, we also got another thing going on right now that is Plex for Good.
Yeah, Plex for Good's going on. I believe it's either tomorrow or by Tuesday. Folks
Yeah,
can donate. Let me see if I
yeah.
can do this. I'll add it.
So it's at least like 200 Plex. So you can like get a group together to actually like send this minimum if you're like a smaller group, and it goes like you make a contract to CCP Plex for Good.
Yes.
Exactly. So yeah. So you go there, like you make the contract to this tune, and the Plex themselves they're gonna be going to it's Doctor Without Frontier, and another one that you can find on the CCP website.
Yeah, it will. Either way, either charity it goes to help the folks in Syria and Turkey who are impacted by the earthquakes. Folk in chat, Dame says it's ending the 21st. Okay, so that seems like Tuesday.
Yep.
So if folks want to do it, so I made my contract. I just typed in CCP Plex because I wasn't sure of the name, and it automatically did the person. And if you actually click on it, you can see they're in the CCP Alliance, Corporation and Alliance. And if you see anyone doing fundraising for this, scamming is explicitly prohibited. CCP will ban you probably permanently for even attempting to scam. So if you find somebody making a promise, they will honor it, or I
Yep.
guess they have to honor it. So like if you see
Yeah.
like streamer, I know you
So
guys did like giveaways and stuff on your stream, right?
well, not of last. Well, mostly because we don't have this super how do you call that CCP partner stuff yet.
Oh yeah, okay. I must have been thinking of
So
someone else.
yeah, we do gives we give stuff to our own beavers, as we call them.
Mhm.
So, but it's not on Twitch. Sometimes it's just because we like to give stuff to our people. Aside from that, we'll be giving actually some merch at Eve Montreal with our Alliance logo on it. So yeah, that's for sure.
Nice. Okay. No, I know I've seen a lot of Twitch communities trying to do a Plex for Good fundraiser, so I don't know. I didn't know
Yeah,
if you guys took part. I know TIS, we always give on our own. We don't really do anything with the stream.
I know there was a few fleets yesterday. One from Pando that was actually quite interesting. The concept behind it is like people go there with big and shiny ships, and instead of asking for SRP, it's like a Pando that is giving the SRP money of the ship that you lose or that you lost into Plex. So the more you lose,
Yeah.
the more you give.
Yeah, I thought that was a crafty way of doing it, right? And because of the no scamming thing, you know he has to do it. So it's like
Yeah. Plus,
that's
it's on CSM, so he better do
yeah.
it.
But I think I know like Convict was doing like a raffle, other groups were doing
Yeah.
giveaways, but my favorite thing is
Honey
how
Inc.
yeah. Like
Yeah.
all these groups are doing stuff and you know that whatever they say is trusted because you
Yep.
can't scam. And like that's my favorite thing cuz imagine all this cool stuff we could have if EVE players just normally couldn't scam of all these like crazy things people pull
Yeah.
off.
No, well, that everything that's to do with those real life catastrophe. Well, that's where you see the real community stand up and actually do real good for the world. Like you got like those that are like a super example, but like you also got what's it called, the science project that
Oh, Project
like
Discovery, yeah.
Project Discovery. Thank you. That is actually doing like a real life like projects in science, real good stuff like the exoplanet and everything. So yeah, that's like that's a real life like, benefit from the player of the community. So that's just super.
Yeah, it's awesome. I love seeing it. Crombie in chat says Pando's fleet was there for awareness, but the big alliances like Initiative did the SRP donation thing. All right, well
Oh, okay, thank you.
that's awesome though. Bringing
Yeah,
back exoplanets, that was so much more fun. Oh yeah, I like the exoplanet one too, but I think the current one's actually helping, like with the pandemic. But like
yeah. I don't know
since
if like it's still helping. I know what's the actual like is the like as of now, is it still helping or I don't know. So I know it like it was in to help with McGill's research at the time. So
yeah,
I don't know like
yeah,
what's the actual status of this one.
yeah, I haven't looked at Project Discovery in like a year or two, so I'm not sure. I do know at the beginning of 2020, one of it was to help. It was related to COVID, I thought,
Hmm.
but now I don't know if they switched to something else.
Not yet, not yet. Like I saw in like the CSM, not the CSM minute, but like there was like an outline of what they discussed, and in the
Oh
outline
yeah,
there was there was like this thing there. So it's not changed yet. I'm quite sure we're gonna see it in the news when it's gonna be happening.
all right, that'll be awesome. I'm excited for that.
Yeah, because it's gonna be like a new project, and like we'll see like what's gonna be about.
Alrighty, we are getting close to the top of the hour. Did you have anything else you want to discuss? I know we mentioned Photon UI and then like kind of segued really rapidly from that, but
Yeah,
anything
yeah, because like I just used like my my Tuesday plan.
you're just preparing, practicing for your show?
No, actually, those were like news from last Tuesday, because like we got
Oh, I
like
got you.
yeah, like because I got the patch on the same day. We got the which was like the Photon UI and some other stuff. Like you got the Plex forward, like everything that actually just happened there. So I just opened that one because well, it was there.
Nice, I got you. I was on Redline's Trash Talk Tuesday and then Drayden's Open Comms, and both times they were just like wanting to talk about the patch notes. I was like, I don't care about the patch notes. But they spent an hour talking about the new change which allowed you to put ships inside ships if they had drones in them. And this was like
That's
revolutionary to these
that's
players.
great.
It's a
That's
good
actually
change,
great.
but like I don't want to talk about it for an hour.
Well, yeah, like yeah, I was like on a Tuesday last last Tuesday Thursday, sorry, like a few days back, and yeah, like we touched a little about this, but yeah, we segued into everything and anything.
That's awesome.
But
All
yeah, we
right.
did also talk to about the Montreal.
Yeah, that's good. You got to build the hype. It's in a month.
Yep, exactly, and people yeah, like like we'll be like increasing the capacity soon, and the sooner people actually get the like their tickets, the like the higher we'll be able to raise the capacity, because if people get tickets too late, we'll hit the maximum and won't be able to increase it like if the tickets are buy too late.
Yeah, I gotcha. So people, if you're going, if you plan on going, buy the tickets now.
Yep. So that way we don't have to say no for like other people.
Alrighty. Do you have, so I'm gonna probably close this out. Do you have any shout outs, things you want to talk about before we do that? I know the show's kind of revolved around you, your show, and your event, but anything else that we may not have mentioned? Like,
Well, actually, shout outs to like everything, like everyone in the Eve community that have been welcoming me to their show or talked about my event, and there are quite a lot of you, like a lot of those. Might be this one, might be Brisks. I thought about Teta Tuesday. There's a charity that was there, like was on his show last week, and yeah, like we got people like in on Twitch too, like streamer. So people are just like really awesome, and yeah, spread the link. So if you know people that are in the area and they would like, or if you're not in the area but you just needed a reason to visit like Montreal and this section of Canada, well, now you got it, and you got like unlimited bacon with it, so you got everything you need now.
Alrighty, that's awesome. Thank you so much. So with
You're
that, I'm
welcome.
gonna end the stream. So what I'll do is I'll do a raid, and then I'll have us on camera, and then eventually, I don't know how we close this out because Artemis always does it, but I'll just try and raid someone so we can kind of dilly-dally while I do that. Oh, I
Yeah,
closed
well,
over the
we
window.
got the Torvald that got on.
Oh, Torvald's on? I haven't seen him on in forever.
Yeah, he started like a few weeks back, a few months back. I know what he's doing right now, actually.
We can go raid Torvald.
So T6 Abyss. Oh,
That's scary stuff. I don't know how he does that. Lose all your ships if you mess up.
yeah. Oh, and he does that with the Eden come like a ship. So
Oh, he
that's
does? That's awesome.
yeah,
Alrighty,
that's
thank you
something.
everyone. Have a good weekend.
Thanks to our everyone. Oh,
Alrighty, stream is out.